So in the tech world, right? You've got these two really powerful philosophies for keeping our digital lives from falling apart. And look, they get mistaken for job titles all the time, but there's so much more than that. They're entire mindsets. Today, we are going to do a deep dive into the core of SRE versus DevOps.
This sentence right here, this is pretty much the whole story in a nutshell. It nails it. It perfectly frames everything we're about to talk about and gets right to the heart of site reliability engineering, or SRE. Its number one focus is, you guessed it, reliability. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to hunt for that one single word that defines each of these mindsets. Then, we'll see how those two words create completely different perspectives. From there, we'll actually go inside the mind of an SRE. And finally, we'll figure out how you build a culture where that unique way of thinking can really thrive.
Okay, let's get into it. Our whole story really kicks off with a simple question. If SRE is fundamentally all about one thing, reliability, then what's the one-word equivalent for DevOps?
Well, the author of our source material here basically went on a mission, asking some of the biggest names in the field, and it was Donovan Brown who came up with the perfect counterpart: delivery. Delivering software, delivering new features, delivering value to customers. That is the absolute core of the DevOps mindset.
Okay, so now we have our two words, reliability and delivery. What's so interesting is how these two words actually create two, well, almost opposing points of view. And there's a model from Tom Lamoselli that illustrates this beautifully.
I want you to picture the entire software process, from an idea to a running service. The DevOps mindset starts way over on the left, with a developer and their laptop. It is fundamentally forward-looking. It's all about the pipeline. How do we get this new code, this new value, out to the customer as fast as we possibly can? Now, the SRE mindset, it starts on the complete opposite side. On the right, in production, where the customer actually is. It's backward-looking. It's constantly asking, what could break here? And what do we need to build or automate or demand all the way back at the development stage to make sure that failure never happens?
And this is the crucial part. They are not enemies. Not at all. They're partners looking at the exact same process, just from opposite ends. You know, a DevOps pro might build monitoring to track how fast deployments are happening. But in SRE, they're going to build monitoring to track the latency the customer is experiencing. Both are absolutely essential, just focused on different outcomes.
So, we get it. SREs look backward from production. But what is actually going on inside their head? What does it really mean to think like an SRE? Well, it all kicks off with this foundational, relentless curiosity.
This is the mantra. This is everything. An SRE isn't satisfied with the perfect diagram on a whiteboard. They are obsessed with understanding how the system behaves out in the wild, in the messy, chaotic, unpredictable world of production, with all its hidden quirks and weird edge cases.
Let me tell you a story to really bring this home. Picture this, a data center. Someone, let's call him Pat, is just walking through and ups, he trips over a power cable that Oscar left lying on the floor. A simple, kind of clumsy accident. Seems minor, right?
Well, wrong. That one little trip kicks off an absolute disaster. The server loses power, which takes the database instance down with it. Suddenly, the app backend starts to freeze up. The website slows to a crawl, the monitoring alerts are late to the party, and finally, a frustrated customer who's just trying to buy something gives up and leaves. And poof, a sale is lost.
So after all that chaos, who's to blame? Whose fault is it? Is it Pat for being clumsy? Is it Oscar for leaving the cable out? Is it Susan's automation that put the database on that specific server? Whose head is going to roll?
An SRE will tell you that pointing a finger at any single person is a complete and total waste of time. The system is responsible. The lack of redundant power, the database's single point of failure, the slow monitoring, all of these things created the perfect storm for that outage to happen. The only real solution comes from looking at the entire system as a whole.
And this focus on the big picture, it always leads back to the most important part of any system, the customer. So to really drive this home, let's try a little pop quiz. Okay, so you have 86 out of 100 servers still up and running. What's your gut reaction here? Is it A, no big deal, B, something to look at, or C, a full-blown crisis? Just take a second. What do you think?
The correct SRE answer is, you don't have enough information. The only thing that truly matters is the customer's experience. I mean, if the other 86 servers are handling the load just fine and not a single customer noticed the thing, it might just be A.
But if the whole service is down because of those 14 servers, it's C. Reliability is always measured from the customer's point of view.
So this obsession with the customer's reality forces an SRE to dig deep, and I mean deep, into how things actually work. And this often leads them down a rabbit hole that has a great name: yak shaving. You start with a simple task, like installing some software. But that needs a library upgrade, which needs an OS upgrade. And before you know it, you're reconfiguring the entire network. It feels like a massive distraction, but for an SRE, it's a necessary journey to understand every single thing that could impact reliability.
Okay, so if this is the kind of deep, systems-level, sometimes yak-shaving thinking that you need, how on earth do you build a team and a culture that actually encourages it?
A culture that really supports site reliability engineering isn't something that just happens. No, you have to be deliberate. It requires intentional choices that actively nurture that core SRE mindset of deep curiosity and systems thinking.
One of the biggest cultural pieces is declaring war on toil. Toil is any work that's manual, repetitive, and could be automated. SREs believe that if a human is doing a robot's job, it's not just inefficient, it's a breeding ground for human error. So a healthy SRE culture gives them the time and power to hunt down this toil and automate it out of existence.
But really, above all else, the single most important ingredient, you can think of it like the fish food for happy, effective SREs, is an environment that rewards and actively encourages that deep, relentless curiosity.
And this isn't just some abstract idea. You can actually do it. Create safe spaces for learning. Things like a post-mortem of the month club, where teams can get together and analyze a failure without any fear of blame. The goal is never to find a scapegoat, it's always to deeply understand what the system did. These activities are like a gym for the SRE mindset.
And that's what's so cool, and it's what you should really take away from all this. The SRE mindset is never static. It's not just about asking, how does it fail? An evolved SRE starts asking a much more interesting question. How will this system fail when our product becomes wildly successful and the traffic goes through the roof?
So ultimately, the SRE journey is about looking way beyond today's problems. It's about designing and building systems that aren't just reliable right now, but are ready for a future that's bigger, more complex, and serves more people than we can even imagine. And that is how these two mindsets, delivery and reliability, work together to build what's next.